Time of the year. Top 10 of 2021. Not one of the best years for movies. Let me scoot so closer. How do I look? Look like I'm haunted or something. But yeah, I looked over this list and I was like, there's nothing that really blew me away this year. Not really. And it was one of the harder years to make a list. But like, subscribe, and here's my top 10 of 2021. Number 10, Don't Look Up. Adam McKay has made his past 3 movies great. Don't Look Up, Big Short, Vice, loved them all. Great acting. Yes, he's great performance out of these actors. This movie really just shows with how stupid and how bipartisan America is and how obsessed the media it is, that if any big disaster was happening, like things are happening now, we're all going to be dead. So if something was actually going to kill us all, like climate change, we're all going to die because America's just stupid. And every other country in the world looks up to us. I'm like, why? Number 9, Last Night in Soho. Anya Taylor-Joy, Thomas McKenzie are beautiful. This movie's very stylistic. Edgar Wright knows how to shoot a movie, make some interesting ideas for a movie. Very creative, keeps you on your toes. Very just, like, you never see what's going to happen next type of plot. I never saw how the ending, the big twist has happened. I never saw that coming. And it left an impact. It was a very unique film. One of the more unique films. Didn't make any money because, audiences want to ensure that the future of movies is nothing but superhero films. And IPs, anything that's IP, Ghostbusters 7. Ghostbusters 8. But this movie, very good, great indie film, and I love everything this guy makes. So, number 8, The Green Knight. Green Knight, another art house film. These art house films make no money. Beautifully shot. Cinematography was great. I love practical effects and makeup. One of the most unique films. Dev Patel is a great actor. Very underrated actor. And it was a great, cool little folklore of medieval times. I thought it was the most... It was just a fable. It was like a fable. The ending was great. It was just a lesson. Let me teach you a lesson type of movie. And I was like, oh, that was nice. It was one of those movies that was running with the lesson of show, don't tell. A lot of movies, like Tenet, it's popped in my head, where they're so expository heavy that the director is just basically saying you're an idiot, that you can never understand this. And this is a movie that it trusts its audience to understand what's happening. It's very just mystifying and interesting, and the acting is great, and it is one of those movies that's visual eye porn, just eye candy throughout. You're watching that movie and like, God, these are some shots that all could be paintings. So, big fan of it. Number 7, The Suicide Squad. I thought this movie was going to be my favorite movie of the year. Again, this year is, hard to decide because no movie really blew me away. But very entertaining. James Gunn knows how to make a fun movie, action-packed. Margot Robbie is just the most entertaining Harley Quinn ever. Only Harley Quinn ever, really. King Shark. He's the Groot of this movie. Freaking Idris Elba. I loved his character in this movie. Bloodsport. God, John Cena got his own TV show. This movie really had nothing but the best ensemble, the best acting. It was super entertaining, phenomenal action, and it was definitely like worth the hype, worth the money. And poor David Ayers. That guy's going to get his own cut now. It's like Zack Snyder and his own fan base saying, release the Ayers cut. But this movie kicked ass. From beginning to end, it kicked ass. Number 6, Inside with Bo Burnham. I didn't want to watch this movie. I had no interest to it. It's not, if you count it as a movie. And I sat back one day. I was recommended. It's like, you're going to love this movie. So I watched it. It was a great internal study of oneself in a pandemic, locked up. A great look at society. White Girl Instagram just killed it. It was funny. It was songs that you could really listen to. Like, when the thing's over, I went to YouTube and I listened to that song he played on guitar. That's a talented human being right there. Bo Burnham is a brilliant genius of a person. And he's young. And I feel like by the time he's old, he would have crafted so many great, interesting things that no two things he does are alike. And I saw him last year in that movie, Promising Young Woman. He can act. He can sing. He can play music. He can do comedy. He can fucking edit his own thing. He's a one-man show. This is pure talent. Someone test this man's IQ. That's a genius. Number 5. Movie I haven't seen in anyone's top 10. The Harder They Fall. Netflix film. All black cast, all black cowboys. Freaking, it was villains versus villains. That's why I like it, because I like a good villain movie. No, I don't need everyone to be a saint. And this is a movie about bad people versus bad people. And it was a very cool movie. Idris Elba, I love him. Jonathan Majors was great. And they were just over the top. A ton of kick-ass moments. Some Quentin Tarantino-esque violence. The ending was a great little twist that I loved. Every part of this movie, I was like, this is a super entertaining movie. I wish more people saw it. I wish more people were putting it in their top 10s or their honorable mentions. The title of this movie, I don't care for. But this movie started with a bang, ended with a bang, and everything in this movie was very entertaining and very just, like, I love me a movie that's just there for escapism, and my brain melts as I'm watching. Super entertaining movie. Loved it. Go check it out. No Netflix. Number 4, Spider-Man No Way Home. First part of this movie, I wasn't caring for. The setup of this movie, I didn't care for. I think Tom Holland's Spider-Man is not my favorite Spider-Man, and I think Peter Parker in this movie is a fucking moron, and everything is his fault. And I just hate how stupid he is. That being said, second half of this movie is phenomenal. And this is one of the rare times where audiences expect so much from a movie. And everything they wanted, they got. It was Christmas. It was Marvel Christmas. They wanted, spoilers, they wanted Toby. They wanted Andrew. They wanted Tom. They wanted the meme where they're pointing fingers at each other. They wanted all the great, great little shout-outs to the previous films. Marvel did something so unique. This is a one-of-a-kind movie. See, when they deviate from their formulaic things like Black Widow, and they do something unique, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, like Eternals. But they can still craft great movies. And this was so history-making to take the same character done in different franchises from different decades, from the 2000s, the 2010s, to the 2020s, and put them all in one movie. It was so insane to have. You could never go back to someone in when the first Spider-Man came out and say, Willem Dafoe's now dead Green Goblin is gonna come back 20 years later and be the villain for that 2 Spider-Mans away. It's mind-blowing. This Doc Ock will return. This Sandman will be back. My audience exploded. The fact that Marvel is still making audiences scream, and you can see go online and just listen to audience reactions, is something else. Something else. But them in the house, in Ned's house, Spider-Man's coming through the portals, audience exploded. So they are creating event movies. Still, after Endgame, I'm like, no way they could do it again. I don't doubt them anymore. I'm sure Doctor Strange 2 is going to have a ton of fan service now. I heard Ben Affleck's Daredevil is going to be in it. So, and Charlie Cox. Pig. So, Nicolas Cage, I saw a video of him at a hotel in Vegas. And he was drunk. And he just looked like a bum. And it was really funny. Very interesting guy. He's like Shia LaBeouf. One of these crazy people that you love them, but you feel like if you were locked in a room with them, they might kill you and eat you. He made a bunch. He makes like 5 movies every year. But like Adam Sandler, who makes mostly trash. Every now and then, Uncut Gems, something like that comes out. And he proves to you that he got talent. He's just choosing to make trash. Nicolas Cage, he does everything. But you put him in the right movie, and he's like, I still got it. He never lost it. Pig is that movie. A movie about empathy. It's a movie about just being kind. And if you're just nice to people who you don't even like, you know? Like, his brilliant plan at the end of this movie to get his pig back was beautiful. Chef's kiss to that plan. Very beautiful movie. Love this movie. He should be nominated for this movie. I kind of want Will Smith to win, which ties me into number 2, King Richard. I want Will Smith to win. I love Nicolas Cage and Alex Wolff, and I loved Pig. Pig was a beautiful, beautiful, kind-hearted movie. It was really dark, well written. But King Richard, that movie is inspirational, made you feel good. I love little biopics about weird things, like the dad of Serena and Venus Williams. Know nothing about freaking tennis, never cared about tennis. Love watching this movie. Watched it this morning. Last movie I saw for this list. Beautiful movie. I hope Will Smith has been trying really hard to win this Oscar for ages now. He should win for this movie. It's about time, man. Killed this role. the actresses, the young actresses, they were so good too, and the mom was so good. It's a beautiful movie. And John Bernthal, it's the first time he didn't feel like he was doing the same kind of performance. He's a great actor, but he always felt like he's doing the same kind of thing, the way he talks and his mannerisms. Different in this movie. I liked it. Worst haircut ever. But this movie, beautiful movie. End of the movie, I was just like, damn, I need to write down a plan and just stick to it for decades. Favorite movie of the year? Maybe. I don't know. This whole list, I'm telling you, this year, nothing blew my mind. But watched this the other day. The Last Duel, #1. Ridley Scott, he's pissed. He's pissed. Goddamn Marvel movies. Matt Damon convincing Batman not to be Batman anymore. These Marvel movies are taking over. They're talking about it. Indie movies like this made no money. And this movie made no money. But The Last Duel, cool poster. Great, visceral, dark, gritty movie. It was interesting. It was the only movie this year that I left... Well, Green Knight. But very few movies this year I left thinking about them afterwards. I kept thinking about medieval times, what it was like. I like learning about the laws in this movie. Women were not citizens; they were like property. So if you rape somebody, they can't get charged with rape because it's not a crime. Horrifying. But the guy who owns the woman, the husband, can charge him with a crime against his property. Horrifying to be a woman in medieval times. And women, I know you've been down bad for a long time, but you have it way better today than you did back then. I like that people could still get sued back then. Never knew that. Property, the way it worked back then, you had to pay rent still. Didn't know that. But yeah, it was basically a less technological version of today. Minus the women having no rights thing. But it was a cool movie. 3 acts, 3 different versions of the truth, which are all essentially the same truth. This told through 3 different perspectives. So it should have been called 3 different perspectives. Because it insinuated that it was going to be 3 different stories, but it wasn't. But I thought it was interesting. And throughout the movie, people you like you like Matt Damon, and you like Adam Driver, and you're watching this movie, and then you just see it through an alternate perspective, and you're just like, you guys are dicks. By the end of this movie, I didn't know who I was rooting for. I was like, Adam Driver. Spoilers. Adam Driver's a rapist. But Matt Damon is the worst. I was like, I don't know who I want to live. So in the end, you're just rooting for the wife. Because you're just like, all right, we just want Matt Damon to win because it's good for her in her situation. She's going to get lit on fire. To accuse someone of rape back then. Women are like, people don't believe me. I'm like, literally today you could point a finger at a guy and he's guilty until proven innocent. Back then, they had to fight to the death to see if God thought you're right. And if you're wrong, you get lit on fire. Ridiculous. I love the King this movie. He's like, all the time. But this movie left me thinking. It showed that Ridley Scott can film action now, because I remember watching Gladiator and I was like, everyone loves this movie, and it's a great movie, great script, but God, the action is trash. Terrible action. He could film some visceral, violent, cool, gritty, real action in this movie. The last fight scene, so worth it. It kicked ass. It was brutal. I loved every second of it. It was a brutal movie, and I was like, this is a hardcore, real movie. And at the end of it, I was like, damn. I feel bad that it didn't make any money. But favorite movie, The Last Duel. No one saw it. Great movie. I hope it wins Best Picture. This, King Richard, or Green Knight. Those 2 win Best Picture. One of those 3. 2 of those 3 are medieval times movies. But yeah, 2021. Not the best year for movies ever, but it had some good movies. And yeah. The Last Duel. Go watch that goddamn movie. King Richard is a good palate cleanser. That'll make you feel good by the end of it. Last Duel will not make you feel good. Last Duel, especially if you're a woman, you're going to be like, I'm going to go join the feminists and kill men. But that's my list. What's your list? Comment down below. I want to read a bunch of lists. Please, tell me everything. Tell me how wrong I am. Your top 10, comment section. Thank you for watching. On to 2022. Got Scream, the Batman. Hope Scream is good.